Welcome to the Shoreline, brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio, where finding your Lake Erie love is a sure thing. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Jill Bauer, PR Manager for Shores and Islands, Ohio. We bring you the Shoreline every week to give you the inside scoop on what's happening here in our island and coastal communities. Today on the podcast, we are going to be jumping full force into the holiday season, my favorite time of the year. I'm actually one of those people who cannot wait for Halloween to end so I can start planning my Christmas. All the celebrations, activities, decor, hitting all the open houses and craft shows and buying presents. I am all in on Christmas. After all, my family does also operate a cut-your-own Christmas tree farm in Norwalk, so shout out Piney Paradise. But before we get all festive, there are several awesome non-holiday events happening throughout the rest of the month, so I'd like to feature a few of those real quick. As many of you know, each year our region hosts the Midwest's biggest gathering of motorcycle riders and fans during Ohio Bike Week. That's usually held around Memorial Day. Well, for our biker friends, our local dealer, Mad River Harley-Davidson, is hosting an indoor poker run on November 22nd. Proceeds, as well as a canned food drive, will directly benefit Sandusky's Victory Kitchen, a nonprofit that provides free hot meals, pantry goods, and other support services to our community. If the weather permits, you'll finish the day with a police-escorted ride to Victory Kitchen to deliver the canned food donations. And we've talked about the Fireland Symphony Orchestra on the podcast before, but did you know that they also have a chorale group? The Firelands Chorale will be featuring Songs of Thanksgiving on November 22nd and 23rd. And fans of The Ohio State University have a couple of cool events coming up prior to our big rivalry game with that school up north. First, the world-famous Ohio State University Marching Band will make a stop in Sandusky to play a concert on Friday, November 28th at Sandusky High School. This is a concert they do every 4 years on their way up to the game. You can expect school songs as well as some highlights from this season's halftime performances. And then, to get ready for the big game, the Sandusky Recreation Department hosts the race before the game. It's actually a really casual race, and it's a super cool course. You actually get to run or walk a Script, Ohio, using Sandusky streets, which is about 5 miles. There's also an OHIO two-person relay option if you want to split the course with a buddy, or you can also do the shorter Big O option for anyone who just wants a 1 mile walking course. And of course, in all fairness, fans of that other school can also select to block the M. That course is about 4 miles long. Friends and fans are encouraged to dress in their gear and celebrate together afterwards at Cameo Pizza. You can find details on all of these awesome events and other things going on all throughout the region on our online calendar at shoresandislands.com. November episodes of The Shoreline are sponsored by Firelands Winery. Firelands Winery, celebrating 145 years of Ohio winemaking tradition, located on Bardshar Road, Sandusky. Learn more at firelandswinery.com. Now, as Mariah Carey says, it's time! Joining us as our special guest today is Chris Corso to talk all about the Sandusky Christmas Market. Born and raised in Sandusky, Ohio, Chris is a Columbus-based entrepreneur, developer, and restaurateur who built his career on a foundation of hard work and family values. Coming from a family of dedicated workers led by his father, Jim, he learned early the importance of perseverance, integrity, and community. Through his hospitality group, he has created some of Central Ohio's most recognizable dining and social destinations, while also expanding into hotel and mixed-use developments. Beyond business, he remains committed to giving back, supporting charitable initiatives and community organizations that reflect the same values of hard work and togetherness that defined his upbringing. Chris's family foundation began the Sandusky Christmas Market in 2024, and they're thrilled to be bringing it back to downtown Sandusky for another season. Welcome to the Shoreline, Chris.
Hey, Jill. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Great. Well, tell us just in general, what inspired the idea behind the Sandusky Christmas Market?
Well, it wasn't anything I was actually planning on, to be honest, but my dad, Jim Corso, great guy, passed away, and him and my mom were supposed to go on the Rhine River European Christmas Market tour on a boat, and with him passing, my mom still wanted to go. So I volunteered, mom, son together, hadn't been on a trip in a while together. So I was honestly a little concerned, but we actually went and had an amazing time. We started in Switzerland, France, through Germany, ended up in Amsterdam, and we just were inspired by the amazing Christmas markets that we saw in Europe and the overall excitement and energy that it brought to those communities. And these are similar weather communities as Sandusky. These communities were not shut down. People were out. They were in the rain. They were in the snow. They were well dressed, just having a great time at these markets. And the family atmosphere that it brought just inspired us to say, this could easily be Sandusky if we just put our minds to it and make this happen. So we thought this is something that my dad probably would have wanted to do if he was alive and saw this and saw all the different elements of the community coming together and the family and the Christmas spirit. Us being in the greenhouse business, that's just something that is really big in our greenhouse for my dad. The poinsettias he grew were the best in the country. The wreaths and the arrangements that he made for cemeteries were amazing. So he was always someone that was very involved in Christmas, and that kind of inspired us to make a leap and try to get this going for Sandusky. And we kicked it off last year. And even though we probably had the coldest weather in 10 years, it was frigid, but bad timing with the weather and really we were counting on the State Theater to open. Obviously, that's is what it is. So we just persevered, and the community came together. Had the Greater Sandusky Partnership, obviously the Shores, City of Sandusky, all the vendors downtown, starting with my sister and brother-in-law's locations, Daly's and Landmark and Shore House. Everybody just jumped in, and it was just an amazing 3 weeks of people coming to downtown Sandusky from all over. We had vendors from all the surrounding cities, all the way to Fremont, Norwalk, Huron, Vermilion. So, just something that I think is a real exciting way to bring people from the region to downtown Sandusky and shopping, bars, restaurants, and just keeping the momentum going that downtown Sandusky's had, and the great job that the Shores has done just promoting the region has really been inspiring to me from a guy that's grown up there and was always hoping Sandusky would be what it's turning into. It's just an amazing family area. Downtown is exciting. I still live at Cedar Point. I've got a house there, so I'm there quite a bit.
I bet.
I just love the area, and we just are excited to try to make this downtown area as special as possible for Christmas.
Well, and it's exciting to see some momentum year round as well, because Sandusky has been growing in terms of special events and having things at the Jackson Street Pier and in downtown Sandusky. And, while they've always done a bit for Christmas, they've always had a tree lighting ceremony and, of course, Santa's in the park and all of that. There hasn't been a real reason to bring folks downtown, during that time of year, other than driving by to look at the beautiful lights and, unless you're bringing your kids to see Santa. So now this is an opportunity for folks to shop, to dine, to spend some time. And you guys have just done an absolutely fantastic job. I want to talk a little bit about the buildings that you have brought in each year. I think to me, it looks like there's more this year than there has been in the past. What inspired those, and how did you get those built and brought to downtown Sandusky?
I wanted it to be authentic, and on most of the ones that I saw, had these little structures. You can do tents, but Sandusky has as we saw last year, it can get a little breezy down there. So, I thought we need to make the investment. So I found a group out in Amish country that agreed to build these for me. I showed them pictures of the ones in Europe, and so they've been building them for me. My family funded foundation for my dad, the Jim Corso Foundation, that is currently funding these. We got about $250,000 in the structures. We're going to make them available for, the entire city. We used them for Witches Walk. We're using them for New Year's Eve. So we're making an investment in the city with these quality boxes. We have power for them. We can heat them now. It's really, they're lockable, very safe for a vendor to have their retail stuff in there overnight and not worry about, things getting stolen. And you don't have to set up a tent. You don't have to worry about it blowing over. So We thought, to make this real, we had to go for it. So we're really investing in the long term future of this, and I think the kiosks being built out like that make this almost like a Hallmark picture city that we envisioned
For
it to
sure.
be. So we thought it was important to go for it and invest in it, and not just do tents and stuff.
I love that. And that is so important, especially from the perspective of the vendor, to be able to keep their items there and not have to haul things in and out every weekend and all of
Correct.
that. You mentioned your nonprofit. Why was it important to you to form a nonprofit to put together this market? And are there any other initiatives that the nonprofit will support?
Well, the foundation in name of my dad, I want his memory to go on. He was just a great person. He was all about Mr. Sandusky, just a community guy, did everything and anything for Sandusky. So I think that's important to continue that legacy and to inspire other people to give back. And then with that, we're going to fund the market until we can get it stabilized with other sources. But to be a nonprofit, we're not trying to make money off this. This is something for the community that my dad would wanted. He never did anything to make money off the community. He always gave back. So we have to follow that same, I think, mindset. A lot of these Christmas markets, you'll see they're kind of fenced off and ticketed, and they're doing very well as profitable enterprises. But that's not our goal here. Our goal is to make a free event for the community. And, through sponsorship, through the shores, everybody's help, we think we can find a way to, cover the cost of this every year from administrative, marketing, just buying the new Christmas lights, paying for all the cleanup and the power and everything. But we think it's important that this is an absolute nonprofit type of deal where everything that we raise, we will put back into the event to make it bigger and better as we have this year. We're buying more lights, we're buying more kiosks, we're trying to bring in bigger and better entertainment for the kids, from Santa Clauses to different types of things for the families to do. Everything is going to be put back into the event. So complete nonprofit.
That's awesome. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the market itself for this year. When is it? What are the hours? And explain to our listeners exactly where it happens.
You have the Mylander Plaza that's at the end of Columbus Avenue there. We're building that out all the way to Shoreline Drive. It's like a little city. We've got about 40 different kiosks, every ranging from retail, from baked goods. Dailies will have one selling hot cocoa, maybe some other spiked hot cocktails too that people might enjoy. The glue wine is a favorite in Europe. It's a kind of a spiced wine that's warm. So it's kind of their version of a adult hot chocolate, maybe. Pretty fun to have a warm wine. And Firelands Winery is providing a lot of that, and they're going to be down there too.
We talked to Firelands Winery a couple weeks ago, and Toby mentioned about being a part of this event, how excited she was.
Toby is a huge supporter. Barnes Nursery is a huge partner in helping us move the structures and set them up. So it's just a good partnership. We're going to kick this off on that same Friday when the Ohio State Band's coming in town. We think it's going to be so many people out for that. We have the Sarders do the in the park there at the other end of Columbus Ave. They got Santa coming, and they do the lighting down there. So we're going to kick this off on the 28th, and Daly's has a VIP kind of kickoff party, free food, free drinks as another fundraiser for $20. That's 4:30 to 6:30. Firelands Wine's providing all the wine. Daly's is providing the food for $20. Goes back into the event. People can get free food, free drinks, and then at 7 o'clock, we all go down to the Christmas market where the city has the tree that they decorate every year. So we'll have the tree lighting.
Spectacular. They just put the tree up last week. And
Yep. They got a beautiful one this year. We'll kind of do a little countdown and kick that off, which will be amazing. And then the next morning, we have to get everybody up because we have a big business bar hop going on during the OSU game with that team up north. So what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to go to all the businesses and all the bars and restaurants in the area, and you'll be able to grab a raffle ticket. If you stop in, you don't even need to buy anything. Just visit the venues, check them out, grab a raffle ticket, and you'll be able to grab a raffle ticket from each venue that we'll then collect at the end of the game. And 30 minutes after the game, we meet down at the Christmas market where we have the stage and we pick winners. And we've got 3 really good prizes this year. Third prize is the pedal cart company down there is going to give out a free pedal weekend ride. which I think is
Cool.
pretty cool. That cart's
Yeah.
really cool. It'll take you to all the bars and restaurants. And with that, you'll have some food and drink packages from Dailies and Landmark and Shore House included, which would be pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Second prize, you get a trip to Columbus. You get to stay at my hotel, and you'll get tickets to an Ohio State game, and you'll get free dinner at one of my restaurants.
How cool.
Kind of a little staycation in Columbus. And then our grand prize, which we did last year, which is pretty amazing, is we have a trip for two on the Cruise for Cancer that goes every year with the Ohio State Buckeyes around the Caribbean. That's a 5-day cruise, about a $16,000 value. All you got to do is get down to Miami where the boat takes off, and the rest is paid for.
Wow.
Cruising in the Bahamas with all the Ohio State players, all the Ohio State alumni. They raise about $400,000 for cancer on the boat by raffling off things and having fun. So
That raffle is taking place on Saturday, November 29th. What are the hours for the bar crawl or the business
crawl starts. I think all the bars are open by 9 a.m. Obviously the game's at noon, and then the game's over right around usually 3:30. So 30 minutes after the game is when we'll do the raffle. So people typically close their tabs, leave the stores, come on down, and we just reach into the bucket. We put all the tickets in there, mix them up, and pick some raffle winners. And then the Christmas market's got in full motion the rest of the day till about 9 o'clock at night. We've got different bands, entertainment, a cappella choirs from all over the region. Fremont's bringing a band, Edison, Huron, Perkins, Sandusky. Their keynotes are coming. Santa might make an appearance on Saturday afternoon after the game. You never know, right? When he's busy, get him through there.
If he's got time.
That's right. And then we reopen back up at 11 on Sunday and roll that to about 6 o'clock. And then we come back next weekend and do it all over Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then our final weekend will be on the 12th and 13th. We actually end that on Saturday night with a fireworks display, kind of a little grand finale blast off around 8 o'clock on Saturday night. 3 weeks of Christmas market. Hopefully brings a lot of people downtown, and it's exciting for the families and kids.
I really enjoyed it last year, I will say. Coming down, I have a daughter that sings with the Edison Show Choir, so she was performing last year, and we got to spend a few hours afterwards shopping and enjoying all the vendors and everything, and it was just absolutely fantastic. So just to hear the growth of the event and that it's going to be even bigger and better this year is really exciting. Are you still accepting sponsors for the market, or how can supporters?
We still are. If you just go to the website at SanduskyChristmasMarket.com, we've got all types of levels of sponsors. From if you want to actually own one of the kiosks from a naming rights perspective, that's become popular now. We just started doing that this year, have permanent signage on that, down to if you just want to come to our VIP kickoff party and support for $100 and you get 5 tickets. It's all levels, and we've just had such a strong response. And you can be a sponsor all the way up to the day, and people kind of join as the event's going on. And we just try to give everybody the appreciation and recognition for being part of that. We've got some really, really exciting stuff this year, and it's grown. We have a wait list right now. We added 10 more kiosks from last year, hoping we could fill it, and we actually have a wait list every weekend now, I think 10 to 15 spots. So we think by next year we can really be a substantial Christmas market for the region just by the growth we've had this year. So we're pretty excited. We think that this could really take off and be something special, like I think my dad would have envisioned it, and just something great for the region.
Oh, absolutely. So, it provides great economic impact to the community, and it really helps build a sense of community spirit. So you said you've got 40 vendors coming in this year. Do you have any idea what kind of things are going to be offered? I mean, you mentioned some of the food things. Will there be artists? Will there be crafters? What kind of things do you think?
Everything, obviously, nothing against commercial businesses, but we want this to kind of have the feel of something that you would see at a traditional Christmas market. So a lot of the vendors are Christmas-oriented crafts or gifts that you would maybe buy for someone for Christmas. So everything kind of falls in that category with the retail vendors, from jewelry, to knitted hats, to things that are Christmassy or gift oriented. The food aspects of this are bratwurst, things that are sauerkraut balls, things that we saw in Europe that would fit into the giant pretzels, things that fit into that kind of reputation of a Christmas market. The drinks being the hot cocoa, the glue wine. We've got our bourbons that you can kind of mix in with your coffees and that kind of thing. So everything is tailored towards the Christmas, and we kind of spell that out when vendors apply that, we're really looking for people that want to put forth the effort to bring the spirit of Christmas alive. So everything down there, I think, from the baked goods, you'll see that this is something that you would see at a traditional Christmas market in Europe.
I just randomly realized that I'm wearing a sweatshirt today that I bought at the market last year.
That's awesome.
Wait a minute, this Lake Erie sweatshirt I bought at the Christmas market last year. So,
Great.
you can even find things for yourself. How do you feel the community response has been to having the Sandusky Christmas Market?
It almost put me into tears last year, just the amount of people that, I didn't even know knew my dad or just mentioned him. But then the spirit, I think, and the warmth they brought when they came down there and just saw the joy that Sandusky brings and just the region. The amount of people I saw, friends and family that I had that live in Perkins or Huron that came down and said, wow, this is just a great little downtown and what it's really become. So I think the city's embraced it. I know that Shores and Island has, and the Greater Sandusky Partnership, the City of Sandusky, all the vendors. So every vendor that came last year re-upped if they were available for the weekend. So we think that's a good sign that not only did it was worth their time financially, but they loved it and how we ran it, and we tried to make it easy and simple for them. This year we're providing more heat, more power. So that it is a professionally run event, is the donation of the time from my family to all the other families that are helping set this up. There's just an unlimited list of people that are down there every day in the morning, just getting this thing ready to go, especially Barnes Nursery, my brother, Jeff Corso and his wife, Diane, my sister, Lainey, and her husband, Dave, and their family. My mom is big time. She's manning the information booth. So if anybody wants to talk to my mom that knows her, she's down there every day, ready to go once the event starts. So stop in and say hi to her. And she's selling the mugs, and she's selling some of the shirts and stuff. And
yeah, it was actually going to be my next question, is if there was official Sandusky Christmas Market merch, because I do remember those mugs from last year were super popular.
The mugs seem to be the hit. We got a few other things made. Some Christmas ornaments for this year we got made for the Christmas market with the logo on there. So yeah, we definitely have some things happening that every year we'll try to expand on it and push that. So we look forward to people stopping in and saying hi.
I know you mentioned, you hope that the event becomes self-sustaining, and you kind of had any particularly long-term goals for the future of Sandusky Christmas Market? Do you plan to always be a part of it? Do you think that it will even get bigger, or what are you hoping to come out of the event?
Yeah, so we're committed. My company, my family, we're committed to putting together all the funds to get the infrastructure built, from the kiosk to the electric to the lighting. I know Barnes Nursery is committed. Great friends of ours since we've been children. So the overall goal is to set this up with the help of the city and you guys, that this is an event that continues on forever as a nonprofit. Lainey and Dave's children are there. They're heavily involved. So we think we have the team to carry this on, hopefully, for many years to come, with or without, me being around. I think that, this is something that we'd like to see happen every year forever. We're committed. We don't see any reason that this would, at this point, go away unless, the city doesn't like it, which we think
I don't think that's going to happen.
So I think now it's just a matter of how big do you want it to get?
Yeah.
Does it need to get bigger? Does it need to go up Columbus Ave? Does it need to go, any further down Shoreline? What size is a good size that's manageable? Because we do want the right vendors in there that have the spirit of Christmas. Those are all things I think after this year we'll have a better handle on. Year two, I think most events that I've done, by year three, you kind of know like where it's going to go.
Yeah.
We don't see it going anywhere but bigger. And I think that really just depends on the community and the city, how big they want it to get. But I think with a waiting list by year two we could have 50 kiosks right now filled if we had them. It can definitely get bigger.
Yeah, as a community member, I appreciate the investment that you're making in the infrastructure and making it just such a great event for the vendors to want to be a part of and for people to visit, putting those little units where you can stand and get warmed up, those little heat units. And I also appreciate the businesses, the vendors that are a part of the market. It doesn't take away from any of the downtown Sandusky businesses. It's different, it's complementary. It's visiting all those vendors, and you can still, while you're downtown, pop in and shop at the Fabulous Female and shop for clothing, or stop into Mr. Smith's and get a cup of coffee. They're bringing people downtown supports all of those businesses as well, and I'm sure that they appreciate having more people in the region on those weekends leading up to the holiday.
Yeah, that's a good point. We really want to focus on the businesses down there, benefiting them. And I think, everything you mentioned is kind of the same thing I did last year as I walked around. I went and got some coffee over here. We threw axes. We went down to all the spots and looked in some of the, shops and bought some Sandusky oriented stuff. So I think if you get enough people down there, they're going to hit the Christmas market for the reason, but they're going to see the charm of that downtown and just go, hey, let's walk up Water Street here. Oh, wow, look at this, store, and let's stop into the bar of the hotel. I didn't know this was here, Excited for that. And, the developments that the city's been working on. Obviously development has stalled in a lot of cities just with the current financing rates. But I do think at some point, the project down at Battery Park is going to happen. I think the hotel is going to happen. I think we're a couple of years out from the downtown Sandusky really just being, and it's already special now, but
Right.
Really special if you start adding that housing and then the hotel components. And you see how successful the hotel has been down there already. Add another 100 rooms. I just, as a kid, just wanted Sandusky's downtown to always be this great popping spot, and it's pretty close right now.
Definitely making progress.
You think about it, you see so many downtowns have died. If you think, look, go around the state and how charming ours is and the hard work everybody's put in, it's thriving down there and shows you what can happen if you have a great city team and people are willing to give back. That was the big spirit of my dad. You can all sit there and work hard and make money, but you can give back in ways that are important, whether it's being blessed like I have with being able to financially give back, or just give back with your time. That it all adds up.
Yeah, absolutely. And investing in the community, it can only go up from here. I'm happy to think, we did talk to Cora from the Witches Walk a couple of weeks ago as well. And she kind of mentioned, Sandusky's starting to be known as the Halloween capital of Ohio, but I think we could vie for the Christmas capital now.
That's right. Yeah. And what a great event that walks right into this, the work they put into that. That's such a cool event.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, your cool event is coming up as well. So the Sandusky Christmas Market kicks off on November 28th, and then it will be running for 3 weekends. You said until December 13th is the final day for the market?
Yep. We're going to end it, and then who knows? Maybe next year we'll start earlier and go later. You never know. We'll see.
There's always room for growth in that direction as well.
Exactly.
On a personal note, Chris, what's your favorite part of the holiday season?
Oh, for me, it's absolutely the whole Halloween to Christmas. That's just I don't mind dressing up. You'll see me at Halloween dressed up. You'll see me at Christmas. I'll probably have an ugly sweater on or something fun. So
yeah,
give me any reason to dress up, and I'm there.
Sounds good. Well, where can people go to find all of the information and the details on what's happening at this year's Sandusky Christmas Market?
Just go right to the website, SanduskyChristmasMarket.com. Super easy. All the information's on there. Any sponsorship, all the dates, times, and we will be excited. If anybody sees me, I'll probably have a red sports coat on so you can find me and just come up and grab me and say hi. I'd love to talk to anybody that wants to, talk about Christmas market stuff.
Awesome. Well, we're really looking forward to it. Thank you for sharing all of this with us today, Chris.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Special thanks to Chris Corso of the Sandusky Christmas Market for joining us, and a reminder that all of November's episodes of The Shoreline are brought to you by Firelands Winery, who we mentioned, history and heritage in every sip. And extra special thanks to Firelands Winery for their continuing support, and Sandusky Christmas Market is sponsoring our December episodes, so you'll be hearing a lot more about them as well. As always, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss a minute of the action here in Shores and Islands, Ohio. You can also find more information, including past episodes of the podcast, online at shoresandislands.com. And we will see you next time on The Shoreline.